Baseball pitching boss Roger Federer equals repeatable hitting power. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, what's going on? It's Joey Myers from the Hitting Performance Lab, and in this baseball pitching video, we're going to learn how a hitter can build consistent, explosive rotational power into their swings, learning from tennis and baseball pitching athletes. We're going to go over three different things. The first thing is spinal engine performance. Number two, we're going to take one of my readers' tennis serves and compare it to Roger Federer. And lastly, number three, we're going to apply key baseball pitching and tennis movement principles to hitting for repeatable power. First, let's go over the spinal engine performance.
Dr. Serge Grachovetsky says there's three ways the spine can move. The first way involves two: extension and flexion. Flexion is like doing a crunch, whereas extension, you can get there just by standing tall. You should have this natural bend in the lower lumbar. The next one is called lateral flexion, or lateral bending. We're just bending from side to side. The last way is called axial rotation, which means that the shoulders are counter-rotating the pelvis, and vice versa. Now, one quick note on extension and flexion is that there's two types. There's local and global extension flexion. So a global extension would be taking the head and spine as one piece and extending or flexing. And local extension flexion would just mean that I'm extending at just the neck or flexing at just the neck. Now, let's take a look at Alexandra's tennis serve and compare it to Roger Federer's.
Here's one of my tennis readers here on the left, Alexandra Franco from Portugal. We're going to compare her tennis serve to Roger Federer here on the right. Now, there's three significant differences in relation to spinal engine mechanics. The first one, we're going to look at Roger Federer. He's going to really go into a global extension, really bend his knees at the start to get this kind of lean back with his spine in his head into a global extension over his heels. Where if we look at Alexandra, she kind of stands taller with this. She gets a little global extension, but she loses her range because she doesn't bend her knees as much as Roger Federer. The next thing is a side bend. Now, if we look at Roger Federer and we can see his elbow, we can't really see we're losing it here, but watch how much of an incline plane with his elbow, his shoulders are. Look at his back elbow back here. He's really arched up. This is a very extreme side bend in order to get good axial rotation, and we don't really see that extreme side bend with Alexandra. And the next thing, the last thing, is we're getting axial rotation. So what you're going to see with Roger Federer is you're going to see those elbows, which are attached to the shoulders, are going to both move counterclockwise at the same time and on plane with the ball. Same time. So if we watch Alexandra, what you're going to see is almost her back arm or her back elbow is going to move faster than her front one as she gets through here. So those are the three major differences I see with their tennis serves. Now let's check out and apply key baseball pitching and tennis principles for repeatable power. We just looked at spinal engine mechanics with the tennis serve. Now let's take a look at baseball pitching delivery from Clayton Kershaw, the 2014 NL MVP and Cy Young Award winner. And what we're going to see is we're going to see this extension and side bending leg kick of his is helping to tilt his pelvis to get a little bit more of a side bend to induce axial rotation as he throws the baseball. The difference is when we talk about hitting, now this is Mike Trout, the 2014 AL MVP, we're going to see almost the opposite shoulder angle, whereas Clayton Kershaw was at an upward angle like Roger Federer. Mike Trout is going to be more at a down angle flexing. But there's a couple differences here with hitting versus pitching and serving a tennis ball. Is you're going to see this extension position. He's coming down with the extension. He's actually axial rotating and blocking his shoulders off, showing his numbers to the pitcher, and side bending. So he's blocking with axial rotation here. As he lands, he's going to unblock and let axial rotation happen, but he's counter-rotated the shoulders opposite the pelvis before his foot lands and hits the ground. Hope you guys learned a lot in this video. Make sure that we're swinging smarter by moving better.